ton because I've still been driving throughout quarantine for work and stuff. I mean, it's, you know, you see the Facebook post where they're joking saying, you know, just so you know, the new track, the speed limit is now 90 miles per hour. Don't mess this up for everybody else. It's the truth. You know, you're going down 70 and that's already, you know, 70 miles per hour. And I mean, in the slow lane, you have people doing 85, 90.
But when
you're just glad to be back out, I guess.
Yeah. When you're behind a Ford GT and an Aventador or SVJ doing $140, you know, and you start going over 120 and you're hitting the bounces on the, you know, it's like, I'll let them go. They're going to hit traffic and I'll catch up, which happened the whole way home. So yeah, that was quite interesting.
It's also hard, Pat, when you're behind that Ford GT, let alone the SVJ, your ears turn off to everything else around you. So the whole speed thing is like your mind doesn't know how to absorb what your hearing is presenting to you. And then you're like, well, is he actually going that fast? Or do I think he's going that fast? Turn my radio down. No, he's going that fast. And his car is that loud. I should back down. It's like a whole, like...
And I'll admit that hearing that car for the first time in person, it felt like somebody was taking a pick and going like this against my eardrums every time it hit the rev limiter. Yeah, his GT, I'd never experienced that before in my life, and I got to tell you that was like, what is happening? That's what happened to me.
Yeah,
you know?
I'd say it's not when.
But I don't want to hog the. We were going around the horn talking about what we did this past week, so I don't want to hog the whole chat right now. So, good. Do we want to talk about the cops? We'll talk about that. Let's go around the horn first. We'll come back to that.
All right.
We got Dan, Tony, and Jeff yet. That still got
I'll
us.
go last because I've been 2 weeks.
Okay. And Tony did a bunch of talking at the beginning. Jeff, do you want to talk about what you did this weekend?
Yeah, I'll jump in quick. As I mentioned last week, I finally bit the bullet, bought myself a pressure washer, bought myself a foam cannon, got the My Chemical Guys pink stuff, and lo and behold, the aftermarket foam cannon that I purchased does not mate up with my pressure washer connections. I was scouring Amazon and eBay and pipe stores trying to find all the inner bits and pieces and connections. And what I came to realize is my $25 aftermarket third-party foam cannon plus accessories, if I could find them to mate up with the original wand, was a lot more headache and hassle than just buying the $16, which I didn't know about, factory Sunjo foam cannon. So, while I'm waiting for this new part to show up, I have to take the old one back to Amazon, get that credited, and so I'm waiting. The only good thing about that wait taking place is I'm also waiting for the O-rings to show up. So far, Sunjo as a company has been very good at handling warranty problems, but also 4 weeks after ownership is a little bit early to be filing a warranty claim. But I'm waiting for those parts to show up. Once that does get put together, I will be doing a full blast on the car. And I spent, I don't know, the best part of 12 hours today on my porch not doing anything. And I was watching my neighbor run his power washer foam cannon setup. And I looked at him doing it. I'm like, wait a second, this is a great idea. So coming up next week or the week after is we're going to do a painter's tape down my car and do Harbor Freight Turtle Wax on one side, Sunjo Chemical Guys on the other side, and see what the difference looks like. So it wasn't what I did this past week. It's kind of, I did a lot of prep work and getting the pieces in play. I, like Rebecca, I'm still going to work, so my days have been filled with non-car related activities. But that's all going to change. We'll have car stuff coming up, hopefully for next week or the week after.
Good. And Tony? What have you been doing this week, Tony?
Yeah, the weather finally got to where I was able to get both cars out and get them clean. Speaking of foam cannons, I plan to do a video on this. I just went like low budget and bought like this Works WRX shot setup for like $110 all in, and believe it or not, like it worked. like it's a battery powered little power washer thing. It's got a small foam, cannon container. I have a recent video where I actually use it, but I don't go into details on how it works. But if you're looking for something really simple, easy, cheap to get started with that, you might want to check something like that out. So I finally got that out, got both cars cleaned up. But now I'm like that. I'm like afraid to get out there and start driving them now because I finally got them dusted off and cleaned up.
Do you have other Works branded items, or that was your first Works product?
That was the first one.
Okay.
First one.
But it's been great for you, saying.
Now, is it heavy duty? Is it something you'd use like every other day on a bunch of cars? Probably not. But for the occasional wash, for that amount of money, I've been happy with it so far. But it's certainly not a top of the line kind of setup, but serviceable.
And what's your battery life like?
Interior usage for it?
Pretty good. It'll get you through a car. I did get a second battery just in case, because if you do more than one vehicle or you need to go hard on the wheels or something, you'll need a second battery. So I would recommend getting 2 batteries.
Okay.
For leather, I highly recommend using Lexol, Lexol. So they have a conditioner and a kind of cleaner, and that's what we use on our saddles. Because of our saddle, like French leather saddle. So out of all the things I know how to take care of leather. And don't use that crappy stuff that has like wax coatings in it. Don't use that. The Lexol's pH balanced, so you can it is great for a quick wipe down. Inexpensive.
And they have it at the parts store.
They have it at the parts store, or you can order it online. They actually have like spray bottles of it. And I don't know if there's a difference between the saddle stuff and the car stuff. I don't think there is, but I know I've used the saddle cleaning stuff. That's what I'm more comfortable with. I've used that in all of our vehicles, and it's worked really well.
It has. I like it. It smells good, and it does a great job.
The biggest thing is being pH balanced, because that will, if it's not pH balanced, that's where you get in trouble with leather.
Good stuff. Tony, what about you?
I've used sprayable leather from Chemical Guys. I don't know how it compares to Lexol. I've had fine results with it, but it sounds like, Rebecca, what you're using is probably, even better, than that. The other thing, I would just say be careful with things with a lot of silicone on the inside, especially. It may look good at first, but that stuff tends to accumulate. So I've learned some hard lessons over the years on using that stuff. So I definitely would, be selective on what you use in the interior, like, i.e., maybe not Armor All.
Yeah, Soto had the Chemical Guys there, right, Soto?
Yep. So I used the Chemical Guys leather cleaner. So you get this. There we go. The horsehair brush with the cleaner. Then I usually go back with the conditioner. I'm out of the conditioner, but after the conditioner, I use the protectant. So have
Lexol.
I actually went down and met video there as well. Just to give them a shout out. And
are they back open now?
They're open, but you can't. They got cone. You can't browse. You just tell Bill or one of the guys what you want, and they'll go get it for you. But we were hoping they were going to open up this week. Well, Friday, we were hoping they were going to open up, but Baltimore County and Baltimore City is not open. So as soon as they do get open, we're going to go back, and I only bought a couple products because I want to do a whole shopping spree when we go back for a YouTube video. Get a polisher, all the chemicals that I want. But I did pick up another bottle of leather cleaner because I was out, and a new brush because my old one's getting dull there. But if you live in Maryland, they're Middle River, detail garage right in Middle River. You love Chemical Guys. It's like a Toys R Us for us.
It is.
Bill's
It's
an awesome
nice.
guy.
Like a Cars and Coffee, and I would go out. They would do it on like a Sunday or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday morning.
She also had something for the Around the Horn
Yeah, this weekend I was able in like a different color. So whether it's like the gloss, like Savage Orange, or I'm kind of kicking around like a blue color because that's my favorite color, and doing blue accents all around like the little SEL badge, the back, that sort of thing, and just blacking out all the chrome on my Jetta because it just looks.
So to chime in there, Rebecca, just to not to take away, but just to mentally prepare yourself. Part of my 12 hours of enjoying my Sabbath and not doing much was watching everybody around me do all their busy work. And my neighbor has, 15, 16 Volvo S60 and has a lot of bright work on it. And last week, he did a purple vinyl on the wheels. And today's project was doing all of the chrome on the vehicle to match that purple. So there's a lot of maneuvering around the door sills. There's a full circle around the windows, and then I think 4 or 5 stripes on the front. So again, fairly simple pattern layment. He was then like, "Oh, this wasn't so bad." Mind you, took him 6 hours to do all these parts. He then decided, okay, I'm going to try to do the lettering on the back. And the lettering takes so much more intricate detailing that, and again, I think Pat may have a Cricut. Correct me if I'm wrong. But if you do have a Cricut, the best thing to do is find the font of the lettering for your vehicle and size it up, not 100%, but run it at 125. Put it on, and that way you have room to stretch over the sides.
That's neat.
He gave up on
what that is. Those are vinyl cutters you're talking about, right?
Yeah, and they're relatively cheap. They run off your phone. I think the new ones even on their computer. But just as like something to prep yourself for, Rebecca, again, straight lines, curves, fairly simple. Anytime you get into lettering, badging, and contours, then you're going to have a lot of heartache. Even Dan doing his roof, I think we had some foul language involved. So just putting that in perspective.
And Duramax Country Boy said he thought you were going to go pink.
No.
All right.
Pink is not a good color.
Let's go to Dan. What you do this week, Dan? You must have been very busy.
2 weeks. Last week. Actually, were you there, Jeff, at the Lancaster Cars and Coffee?
Like
350 cars to King of Prussia.
No, because that was a Saturday event. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That was fun. Everyone basically was like, we've been cooped up for too long, so yeah, we got like 300, I think, cars to drive from Lidditz all the way to King of Prussia. Then my group split off, went to my buddy's house in New Holland, then went to my house. And the reason I missed the last stream was because of. Oh, let me do this. Yeah. That is my buddy's Audi A3 in my field doing donuts. I'll cover up the middle finger.
So he thinks it's a farm truck?
What?
He thinks it's a farm truck?
No, we just thought it'd be a good idea to have fun. We did that. We jumped the four-wheelers, and his car was making a ticking sound for a little bit. And after the field donuts and all the pictures we did, my camera does not like.
Probably all the stones falling out of it.
No, the AC compressor pump seized, and the pulley was just free spinning, sending metal everywhere, which was ripping apart the belt. So I had to wait for a tow truck. We had to get it up on the tow truck. The tow truck battery stopped working for the trailer. So I had to get my truck out, jump that, get it going, and by the time we were done, it was like 9:30. Whatever.
So if you have to use your truck to jumpstart the tow truck, do you get like an extra month or two on your AAA?
Do I get what? You lagged out.
Like a free month or two on your AAA?
No, it wasn't AAA. It was a buddy. We called around like everywhere. It was our buddy in New Holland, his parents' like pneumatic trailer. You can tip it and all that. So they had brought it in the battery, and that was dead. So yeah, it was a mess, but it was also fun. And I was glad to get out of the house again because I've been cooped in here and hate it. And then just a lot of work. And today I detailed 4 cars. And then in my water room in my house, a pipe burst. So we had sewer water / dirty drain water from our garage and all that going everywhere. And I was cleaning that. So yeah, horrible. About like 3 inches of water and that's with the drain running.
Oh God.
Yeah, so that's been life recently. Also, next weekend, I'm hoping to do my trans mounts, get that fixed finally, as well as fluid flushes in my diff and my transmission, and depending on that, how that goes, depends on whether I spend $3,000 rebuilding my transmission or not. So, fingers crossed.
Now, do you use jack stands when you work on your car?
Yes, yes, I do.
Okay.
I am trying to get a 2-post lift in our garage because we have 14-foot ceilings, I think. Easily fit one. It's just a matter of finding $4,000. So,
right.
And if I'm going to be spending $3,000 on a transmission plus another $4,000 on a lift, yeah, not fun.
No.
Then I can't get my ZL1 in a couple of years.
That's right. Yeah.
But yeah. Thick, Mr. Thick.
Mr.
We're talking about doing your roof sometime, right?
Yes. Can it help me?
So, yes. So I have an idea. You were talking about going to Castle in York. When were you planning on doing that?
I don't have a date set yet. But
I live half an hour away. I have 2 garages, a 3-car garage and a 3.5. Well, a 2-car garage that you can fit 3 cars in, and then a 3-car garage you can fit 5 cars in.
Dude,
Wow.
you're flexing real hard right now.
I'm not trying to flex. We just may or may not have to have a bunch of broken cars right now.
Dude, my garage.
On jack stands. My car's on jack stands.
I don't want to jinx I don't want you to jinx me.
No.
Damn, man, my garage is the curb outside that is right by the storm drain. So I get like a lift like that. If I pull up on the grass, I can maybe slide under for a quick power wash.
Yeah.
Oh no, drain the oil.
This guy's got like a 17-car garage space over here.
How confident are you with doing the pin?
What I would do, buy a carbon fiber one for $15. I can get you a link. Actually, what I am doing right now is I'm leaving the cap off because I like the contrast between the white fin and the black roof. But you can change your mind later. The scariest part, though, is cutting. My camera focus is really bugging me. But the scariest part is trying to cut all the glue around the fin because I kind of scratched underneath there. I don't know if you care or not. No one's going to see it.
You have a sunroof?
Yes. That was actually easy. You just kind of cut it out and you heat it up and tuck it underneath. So maybe if you want to go, I live like 40 minutes away from York. So you want to go there.
You have the vinyl on your sunroof, or you cut the glass out?
I cut the glass out.
Okay.
But then you open the sunroof and you just tuck it underneath, and when the sunroof closes, it seals everything. So
you took your rails off too, right?
Yes, that was easy. You clean in there with isopropyl. And I have, if you want even more help, I have a buddy who helped. He wrapped his entire El Camino matte gray, and he did such a good job. I thought it was paint. So if you want him to help, he could probably help us. So it's up to you. Or I can go down to Maryland because I'll be down there sometime anyway.
We'll set it up.
So.
Yeah.
What
about doing carbon fiber wrap? No.
Carbon fiber is a little tricky. You can hide a lot of your fingers. They call it. It's like little seams in the vinyl, but air bubbles you'll see a lot more. And you got to be careful too because I don't think you can use too much heat on it because. Well, are you going gloss or dry carbon?
I was gonna do gloss.
Okay, then you're good. Because if you add heat to a matte vinyl, heat really helps out a lot. But it'll end up making it look gloss. So
yeah, we'll set that up. It's gonna be a lot cheaper than paying A+.
Oh yeah,
$350 to.
Yeah,
$350 to wrap a roof?
Just the roof.
Oh no.
A+.
Yeah.
What are wraps going for in North Carolina? Because we pay a lot of money for that. I was told that it's going to cost $12 to
a solid color.
See, I'm stupid and I want to go to a shop, even though I did it and I kind of did an job, but I mean, it was my first time. I want to go to a shop specifically in Shane Designs because I'm not like Jeff. I don't know the guys there, and I figured I'd have an in if I were to, get them to do something. And then I can park at their booths if Street Speed ever does his events again. Because I'll have the little in Shane Design stickers.
Well, so on that note, Dan, and this one, again, Tony's a GM guy. I'm a Volvo guy. Everybody else is in the and meander around the shop like a lost puppy. Like, it's not as big as you present it to be, but, you know, if you were to go in and be part of the In Shane's project team, you know, then you can say, hey, Shane, Carlisle Imports is coming up. You know, my car is going to be there. Do you guys want to have a display set up also? And there are ways around it. It's all how you present it out that way. So I wouldn't just say, like, oh, because I'm having Shane do my fenders, I'm now part of the In Shane crew.
I was kind of joking about that, but it'd be nice.
I'm
met
telling
him
you,
a couple times.
There's
events.
nothing. They do not so much in the BMW space.
The closest I know some people have gotten work done by them. Obviously, Mike Rusty Zipper. I know Brian Merkvet.
Oh my God, his car is gorgeous.
I love it. And I know him through the rallies. And actually, Shane and who else was it? I guess his girlfriend in another car. And Brian, they went on one of our rallies. And that was cool. They kind of led the pack. But that's like the closest I've got to that group. I think it'd be cool to kind of expand to that. Yeah. I mean, I'm not just looking for like the free clout, but like I think it'd be cool to work with them. They do a really good job of like all their work.
Cool and on that note, I'd be very interested. Business. You know, you just did your roof. Soda's looking at doing the car. You know, regular guys with Pat as our lead mechanic got together as the amateurs, did a full wrap, and then ran out to Shane. And again, scheduling this with Shane and saying, hey, buddy, you know, we're a bunch of amateurs. We'd like you as the professional to go through our car front to back, left to right, top to bottom, and compare, like, you know, you did this well, this sucks, this I wouldn't even think about doing, to see what it's actually like for what you're paying for. Everybody's like, oh, I can do it cheaper, I can do it cheaper. Yeah, you can, but at what cost?
Yeah. It's it's labor intensive. I'm not going to, it's not easy. I mean, all that dismantling of, you know, your door handles, your side markers.
And your car has a lot of sexy curves on it too. You know, it's not an old, you know, Chevy Impala where it's just a bubble where you thermoform it around. There's crevices, there's tucks, there's spaces.
Yeah. I thought the roof would be easy, but it has like little divots in the back and it curves, and I mean, I have wrinkles in the back, and I have a hole that I filled in with Sharpie. So,
go and get a $350 paint job, do the whole car.
Yeah, but they won't take your door handles off, and they'll spray your wheels.
Hey, E-Vapor's got some questions on his page you'd like to ask.
Yeah. If y'all don't mind, I hate to interrupt. No, I'm just messing with y'all. You know how I do, man. I like to bring a little bit of sarcasm with it. But the question for Atomic Z06, man, we got people asking, what year are your vets, and do you want the C8?
So the two vets, the first one, the Atomic Orange one, is a 2007. The Blade Silver C7 is a 2016. Do I want the C8? Yes. I'm probably, though, going to now wait for the C8 Z06 for a couple reasons. One, you know, I actually had an order in with Criswell, got in early as soon as the C8 was released. And a couple things with the whole pandemic crisis and all of the uncertainty that threw into the whole world and I said, hold on, let me think about this. So I was already thinking about it. And then someone said it, flat plane crank. When I started seeing the videos and hearing more rumors about the Z06, I was like, oh,
and
I think I'm going to wait. The bronze color and all this stuff, but I'm now officially on Z list, so but I do want one for sure.
What are your thoughts, Tony, then on the automatic?
Say again?
Are your current cars stick cars or automatics?
So the C6 Z06 was only available in manual.
As a manual,
so that's a 6-speed manual.
Okay.
7, I got the auto, mainly because I already had a manual Z06. And I tell you what, I like the 8-speed auto. I don't know. I mean, I like it, but if I were going to get a C8 Z06, I mean, you have no choice now, right? Dual clutch, one transmission, and so I'll go with that.
So, No, I was asking, are you going to keep the other vets, or what's your plan with them?
No, the C7 will go.
How about this? Let's set up with all, 27 of our viewers. Let's set up a GoFundMe, and we're going to get you a C8. We're going to get you a C4, C3, and then the original. C2.
Okay. GoFundYourself.com.
Yeah.
I'll give you $1.
Would you do one of the custom VINs to get an early build, or you don't care about timing?
I don't think I care that much about timing, but we'll see how the thing looks. I mean, if I can get a chance to really get up there and get an early one, I may do it, but it depends on a lot of factors by then. I mean, it's a lot of money. I can't remember how much, but it's pretty pricey for the custom VIN. Yeah.
You a Carlisle guy or no?
I am. Yeah, I've been there. Well, I was in Texas until 2018. But since I moved up here, I've been going to Carlisle. Fortunately for me, the orange car actually got picked for the Chips Choice display last year, where they were taking applications for custom vets. So it got stored inside, Building T there or something the whole week, which was fun. Yeah, but I really hope we have it this year. I guess it's still a little bit up in the air. I have to imagine, though, knock on wood, that by mid-late August, hopefully they'll be approving outdoor, big gatherings like that.
Where's home base for you?
What was that?
Where are you based out of, Tony?
Now I'm in Howard County, Maryland.
Okay.
Not too far outside Baltimore.
Are you near Bel Air?
Not too far from Bel Air, a little bit up 95. Yeah.
Tony's probably closer to me than he is Soto.
Yeah.
I think we should do a meetup at Carlisle because I love that event. A lot of people will be there. I think that would be cool.
I'm planning to be there. Got my hotel room, everything. I'm hoping we pull it off.
I'll just drive in every day.
Are you close?
Hour and a half.
I've already
depends on the traffic.
I've already confirmed my media credentials, so I'm ready. Every event.
Nice.
Good. Very good. Yeah, because I know, Jeff, you put up a lot of content with different cars, and even the quality of your videos is outstanding. If you want to see some really cool cars, do a great job on that.
Thank you, Pat. I appreciate that.
And then there's my video where I pretend to be an old man and critique the C8. It went wrong when they switched the tail lights. Circles.
My first Corvettes at Carlisle was in 1994. And
I was alive then, totally.
Yeah, I got the sticker, and I drove on the field with my 78 vet. So that was my first. The only thing I still hate it is the heat. I don't tolerate the heat very well. And that's the one bad thing about August. It hasn't changed. Every August at Carlisle, by the end of the day, it's grueling.
And you've got guys that come in Thursday.
It's mildly warm for me.
Yeah.
Mildly warm.
What was your question, Jeff?
No, you've got less a question. You've got people that'll come in from all the middle of nowhere, and they're there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they're not leaving until the last car out. And regardless of what the weather looks like, feels like, sounds like, the true diehard grumpy butts in their jean shorts and New Balances, but they're there the whole time.
The New Balances.
That's actually what I was wearing.
I have to jump in there. Have you guys ever watched Obsessed Garage?
Yeah, Matt Mormon.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of his videos, but he just sold his C7 Corvette, and he did a exiting the Corvette experience video, and he was going off.
Attendees and not at the cars, you'll notice it.
That was my entire video. I literally was just panning at people's socks, and people were looking at me like, what? But Mike Rusty Zipper, throughout the entire event, would just text me photos of some dude had Corvette socks that went up all the way up to his knees. And it was hilarious. And then
when you get your C8, will you have 3 vets at the same time, If not, which one are you going to donate?
The C7 will get traded. The C6 is too heavily modified. I kind of decided that's a keeper.
Oh.
But that's one of the reasons I kept the C7 stock, was so when the C8 came out, I could trade it. Part of the issue for me, I don't know, you modify a car, you do so much work on it, almost becomes part of you, which is why I had such a hard time with the move to C7. So I don't want to put myself in that position again.
Yeah.
Well, it's
my
not
car
just
has so much part of me in it, like, you know, my blood and sweat and literal tears and everything.
like
Pennies on the dollar.
Have you driven a C8 yet?
I've not driven one. I've sat in them and all that stuff like at Carlisle, but I have not.
This performance car, honestly, more of an efficient car, but a lot of them are looking at the C8 platform because they do want the mid-engine, and they're very happy with the value. So that's one thing. I was at a car event today, and Italian Stallion 410 on Instagram, he brought his C8 out in white, and it was the first time I really took my time and looked at the car a little bit more than I did at the pre-production ones up in Carlisle, because of course we could spend time sitting in them and Duncan, you look at the side, and interesting to see that. And I've been following. I've been waiting now. I've been talking with Justin from Horsepower Obsessed because he has one on order, and he's hoping to get his by June, and it will be, obviously then. It'll be somebody another YouTuber that we know, and that's fairly local in Pennsylvania, and be able to provide, a little bit more of, what I consider the normal guy, just owning a car, and it's not.
And to me, like Justin, like a true Corvette enthusiast that has one. I mean, the C8's been so popular, and I actually recorded a video on this topic. I haven't posted it yet, but there's so many of the big-time YouTubers who got in and they're getting them first. But the thing I have with that is, a lot of them aren't even real Corvette, enthusiasts. They just knew the right people or willing to spend enough money to get them first so they can...
What it is, it is a BMW. Ever, Aventador. So it's almost like getting that guy, and that's their first big car. Maybe they grew up, with older cars like Pat with the Corvette. It kind of gives a more realistic view of what the car can actually do. I mean, yes, they might not know how to push it to the exact limits, but you kind of get a better view of this is fast, but not compared to Aventador type deal.
Well, the other thing to
even Stradman, he beat his Aventador. He drove the C8 and on a track.
Beat the time.
Yeah, he beat the time of the Aventador. I mean, there's something about its build that.
But it might be a personal jogging thing, because think about it, it's a hell of a lot easier to feel like you can push a C8, because in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot easier to fix, a lot cheaper to fix. You push your Aventador and you lose it on the track.
Possible,
It's a bigger price tag to fix it.
The other thing too is his was an early Aventador, and it's just a stock. It's not an S, it's not an SV, not an SVJ, so But it's a stock Corvette. But at the same time, I think this is a 2012 compared to a 2020 Corvette. So the technology has improved, and Corvettes build upon a lot of, other manufacturers' technology.
Yeah. The other thing to bring into play there as well, and yes, I do agree with the guys buying the first C8s to get a lot of those early views because they're the first ones that have it. But looking at TJ Hunt, for example, he bought the car and went straight to either Corsa or Borla or one of the Magnaflow. He now has a partnership with Magnaflow, and it's not that they would not have had access to a pre-production or a production to get things moving, but it also gives them some exposure for guys like you in the Corvette world to see here's how they do a custom build. Here's what you can get out of it. You and I are Carlisle guys. You drive up, you pull up to the A&A booth, you pick out, one of 7 exhausts, and they put it on. But that's really the only experience you get. So seeing the process that goes behind it can help you say, the Borla guys do this, and the Magnaflow guys do that. I kind of like their approach better. So it's also putting the manufacturers in the front line as well a little bit, which I thought was kind of cool.
Speaking of exhaust,
No, it's great they do it.
Yeah, some of my friends, they had, like, there's me. I tuned my car. It's less reliable. I mean, how reliable can you get with a BMW?
It's a BMW.
But that's why I wanted to go Chevy, because I wanted something that you throw an exhaust on, and that's all you need to do. I mean, especially if you go a Z06 or a ZL1, you got that supercharger, you got all that power. All you got to do is an exhaust, and you're good.
Well, one thing that GM does a good job at, especially the performance ends of it, like Corvette, Camaro, they pay a lot of attention to the aftermarket, because you look at what they've done with the. First time I heard that, I'm like, holy crap! Like, this thing sounds great. Like, I don't need to do anything to it, and performance-wise, it was great. So it hurts the aftermarket. Don't get me wrong, but I do think they pay. It proves they pay a lot of attention to what people are doing to the cars. That's for sure.
To a point, but also with I mean, you have people. There's so much aftermarket stuff for Chevys. Like, you can just plug and play at that point. Like, so much. And that was the thing too with like getting a ZL1 or a Z06 is the active exhaust they have on that is just amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So on the opposite note there, Dan, saying that GM has all these plug and play bits and parts. So I've got a question in my chat box over here from ZL1 Power 69. What are everyone's thoughts on Rob Dahm buying the wrecked C8 and doing a rotary swap to it?
2 thumbs up for me. Rotaries are amazing, and I think that's cool as hell.
There was another question too, E-Vapors. You had a question on your chat, and I have a question on my chat as well.
Yeah, I just dropped it in the thing. Okay, but was that about a 3? Oh, no. Would you pay extra for the museum delivery and tour?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, so Tony, when you get your C8, is that the plan to go to the museum, pick up, do the whole tour and the video and all that stuff?
That's the plan. That was actually my plan for the C7. However, when I was literally buying the car, the dealer said, hold on a second. We have this car that someone spec'd out and ordered and backed out of. We could make you a great deal on it. You want to take a look? I took a look. I was like, oh, this is like, I love this car. So I sacrificed the museum delivery for it, but I still would love to do that. I plan to do that on next.
Would you make that a whole road trip, Tony?
Yeah, I'd make it a road trip. Yeah.
I've driven down there. It's a long drive, but it's beautiful country. And I have a question in my chat here too. Bimmer Vlogs. He says, I drive a C7 Z06 and it never got traction. Do you think this is common, or do you think I need better tires?
Well, they make so much torque. You need good tires. I mean, I have the Sport Cup 2s on mine, which are, if you, in warm weather, get them warm, they'll get traction. Cold weather, wet weather, forget it. But in terms of, if you can get them warmed up, you need something like that. Otherwise, yeah, you'll just spin.
Yeah, that was one of the things. Cup 2s, they're not cheap, Tony. 4 Cup 2s, baby. Come on now. You said it real humble. Like, yeah, I got the Sport Cup 2s, man. Just some little TireRack.com tires. No, you don't. You got Sport Cup 2s, baby.
They're not. For how long they last, they're expensive. Yeah. I mean, they're actually cheaper than other ones, but they don't last that long. That's why they're expensive now.
Gotcha. I just wanted to let you know you didn't have to be humble with it, man. You say, hey, man, I got me the Sport Cup 2. It's okay to flaunt a little bit in here, man. We all friends in here.
Yeah.
Huracan.
Now, one of the things, I don't know if they do it for the Z06s, but I know on the 01, they almost have like an active, I saw it on Faster Proms channel, they have like an active, it's kind of like boost by gear for a turbo, but almost for the supercharger. It's like some like little valve or something. Did they have that in the Z06? Or am I just like crazy?
I don't know if they have it in both. I haven't heard.
Look into it. I'll send you something on it. But I thought that was interesting because just kind of keep grip.
I had one suggestion in my feed, real quick. Soto, it says
I see it.
Do a pink carbon fiber roof.
I'd help you.
I'll put.
I think Duramax Country Boy has something for pink.
No. If this video gets 10 likes.
10 likes? Wow.
Gets 10 likes. We'll put pink on Soto's roof.
And I will make sure it happens because I'm helping wrap it.
And not his car's roof, on his house's roof.
Oh,
My house.
Well, I think, guys, let's take it like onto a serious note. We can maybe call up Premier Financial, but we're getting into May, October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I think we should come up with some kind of, whether it's a challenge, a fundraiser, or something. Hey guys, if we hit $500 to this whatever charity, Soto's roof is going pink and Pat's roof is going
big pink, like the ribbon on the roof. That would be cool.
We did a Volvo bright Barbie pink in Plasti Dip front to back, and we found a shop that donated all the labor and all the supplies.
Wow.
Yeah.
They make pink carbon fiber.
Yeah.
They do. Well, so there's multiple options. You have like.
You have it pulled up.
Well, that is carbon fiber.
Or you can do a straight like carbon fiber.
You have options too.
Does anybody else have any other questions that showed up? Yep, Maryland Spotter.
As the vet guy in the group.
It's a question.
It is, what are the thoughts on Rob Dahm buying that wrecked C8 and doing the rotary swap that he's planning?
That just makes me afraid.
Yeah. You put a rotary in anything.
So I myself, I'm less, knowing how big Dom is in the rotary world, I know he's going to do it. I know it's going to put down a lot of stupid power. I'm really more interested in the overall build to see what it looks like in terms of the electronic parts. In his, he did a live for VinWiki, shameless plug, Premier Financial, second shameless plug, and his plan is he wants to be able to take that car to any GM dealership and have them run the OBD2 on it and not pull any codes. So he has to manipulate the entire computer system. So I'm fascinated in the engineering and electrical behind it. Like Pat said, you can put a rotary into anything. So like it's not overly challenging mechanically. It's the software that's going to be exciting.
I think also mating up I think he was talking about keeping the stock gearbox too.
Yeah, he wants to keep the Tremec transmission.
That would be tricky. But I think it would be cool because it almost gives you, I know they're different, but it almost gives you kind of a little like sneak peek of what the Z06 is going to be like with that flat crank, the flat crank, because you can rev it higher, it has those sounds, and
I'm going to go to Detroit.
Yeah.
But interesting. So this car, I mean, it'd be fascinating to see how he engineers it, but it sounds like it's going to be a one-of-one, kind of car. Right? It's not like people are going to send their C8s to him to get it.
Yeah.
Well, he also has, his own custom four-rotor build that it's not nothing that he does is cost-effective for mass production.
Not at all.
Yeah, we got another question for Tony. I'm sure it's probably more of a ballpark question. What's the average price of the Z06 for 2021? I'm assuming, without extra, pick this, pick that. What is that baseline Z06 pricing for the 2021 C8?
Yeah, so with the Stingray starting at, let's just call it 60, I expect that the Z06 will probably start at $79.9, call it 80. That'll be the probably starting sticker price. Realistically, just like with the base C8, what are people going to be paying for them? Probably close to 100. But I think if you waited out the first bubble, if you did want a bare minimum spec C8 Z06, I'd be surprised if you couldn't get one for around 80. Just knowing the way Corvette's approached this in the past.
Would they have a Z07 package? That's what it was called, right? The Z07 package.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the Z07 package on the 7th gen was carbon ceramic brakes, enhanced aero and stuff. I'm sure they'll have all that and more for this.
What Tony was saying about the pricing on the Z06 or the Z07, when you start getting into 100,000, because I love the C8, right? I mean, I love the C7, honestly. And I was prepared to get one. I was doing my normal YouTube research, and I came across the i8 video, and the rest is history. They're not the same cars for what you expect from them, but they're individually great cars. So with that being said, anytime I start building the C8s and different things, and the stuff that I like, I say, okay, I'm not gonna look at the price. I'm gonna click. I'm always in the 100s. so when I get into the 100s, now I gotta go to supercar now. Not that the C8 is not a supercar. I gotta go to the traditional supercars. I can get me a used Lambo for 100 something. So that's kind of my mindset right now, looking at these Huracans, 2016, 17, around 170, 160 ish. For the 610-4, but it's like at the same time, I love that C8. But if I get into the 100,000 range, I'm going all in. But I'm going to Vegas and I'm
right. Even and I love Corvettes, but once you start getting into the 120s, 130s, I'm thinking for the average person, it's still a Corvette I'm talking about.
Out of it, so you can drop. With the ZR1 when that one first came out in recent years, you're at like 125 all in for a new high performance car, or you're buying a 5+ year old supercar that's going to come with the maintenance issues. And not all of us are Pat with the air jack that know how to build it out for ourselves. And that's where I come from it. So if I had 100 large, I've seen some water damage, go down to that Ed Bolian territory. But what kind of problems is it going to have? Unless you're comfortable and know that it's going to work for you, I don't know. And real quick, just to add into
an answer to that question.
To add into what Tony was saying with those numbers, if you were to be one of the guys that wants to buy a base entry-level Z06, like, you're already too late on your money, because the people are either going to build it that already have their allocations in, or the dealership is going to build it as, every button clicked like E-Vapors does to make it that top of the line. And you're not going to find a junior Z06. They might not even build one that doesn't have, like the pre-selected first-year packages. In the event that someone puts the down payment, gets the car rolling, oh, my house just took a dump, I can't afford this car anymore, and now the dealership
will see like base Z06 for a few years.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, before you go too far, I want to add on to what you were saying about buying the Lamborghini supercar at 100, a couple years old, and warranties and maintenance and all that stuff. So to answer that question first, I've done thorough research, right, on these myths of how much maintenance is on supercars. So I went straight to the experts, the people that sell Lamborghinis. And there's some great videos out there. There's a lady in Canada who sells Lamborghinis. I can't think of her name right now, but they put together.
Heather Valentine.
There you go, Heather Valentine. She's so thorough with her knowledge of the Lamborghini. And I saw a series of videos of her and some other folks that showed how much the maintenance was. And they were literally myths. They were not like these crazy, exorbitant numbers like you would find on probably the crazy car that's like $3 million.
Pagani, Koenigsegg.
Bugatti. No, the Bugatti. If it's an issue, you shouldn't be buying a $100,000 car, Lambo or Corvette. Because the factory is not a $100,000 car like this one was $150, but it's the same maintenance that it was at $150, regardless of the depreciation. So I'm already prepared to take it in, and there's a lot of myths about the cost of maintenance on older Lamborghinis and whatnot. But I'm prepared, and I'm preparing myself even more to handle whatever those costs are, whether they be $800, $1,000, $2,000. You just gotta always buy within the range of things that you can afford.
My thought there is my echo's back. Isn't
You're stuttering a lot too. You got some delay.
It's not me not being able to afford the maintenance. It's more so whoever owned the car before me and didn't do that proper maintenance, and then I got to come in behind and play catch up. And that's when you're going to find a lot of the expensive stuff.
Hey, it ain't tricking if you got it.
That's all
I'm just saying, like, I can't worry myself to death about 16, 17, and make it happen.
Anything they want, even though it may not pass what the manufacturer considers as certified. Because
Who's that?
Anytime a dealer slaps this is certified on the car, they give you a checklist and show you all the things that they looked at, the things going on with that car. Then I sat down with the people and I said, do you want to take it for a ride? I'm like, no, I don't want to waste any more time with it. I drove 2 hours to Philly to look at this car. It's supposed to be certified pre-owned.
Philly.
And it looks like crap. We're sorry we didn't have it standing tall for you. I said, that's not what the point is. It's supposed to be a certified pre-owned car. It's supposed to meet specific standards. In fact, with my car, the one that I bought, you're supposed to have a minimum of 5 millimeters of tread depth. 2 of those tires had 4 millimeters because I brought a tread depth gauge with me. And I said,
only you. Only you.
Oh, me too. I did it.
These do not pass CPO required tire depth. And they knock some money off of it. I mean, I knew I was already going to go with different tires anyway. But they knocked a couple $100 off the car simply because they screwed up. So they will certify anything. Don't trust that. That's all I got to say. Don't trust that.
I did the same
with 1 millimeter. Well, I know who's going with me when I buy my Lamborghini. I know who's going to ride with me to the dealership.
No. What you need to do, honestly, this is what I'm going to do from now on. I'm not going to buy a car unless Pat buys it first. Because then I have my certified mechanic at all times, to make videos on it.
No, I want certified mechanic.
No, just
I want Sean/Shane to buy it first.
Yeah,
you just got to have Pat do your PTI, PDI, whatever they call it. Your
PPI.
PPI, purchase inspection.
Yeah, PPI. Thank you.
Yeah, pre-delivery, but pre-purchase inspection. I'd be the guy for that.
Yeah. I did the same thing, Pat. Because BMWs with their run flats, I think it ends up being like $2,000 just to replace 4 tires.
Right.
So I did the same thing, and I got $2,000 off my car because of it. And I got another $1,000 off because
they don't come with run flats, which is nice, at least in the States. In Europe, they may. Tony, you had a question?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, and I agree with Derek, there are a lot of myths out there. So if you do have an issue, you're going to be able to find stuff, and it won't be as expensive. A big part of why exotics are so hard to maintain, so expensive, is just because there weren't a lot of them made in the first place, and there's not a lot of parts availability. You're going to hold steadier, so you really have to, and that's one reason I've only been willing to go so high on something called the Corvette for those reasons.
Yeah, and that $100,000 Corvette, that $100,000 red-eye wide body. I just can't put $100,000 into a car that looks just like any other car that you see down the road. Yes, we know Hellcat badge, the Demon badge. Yes, we know that. And I'm not buying cars for other people's sake. No, I'm not. But for me, when I look outside, I see a Dodge Challenger. Yeah, I see a Corvette. And to me, a Corvette is that $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 range. And in my mind, the light switch doesn't turn on at 100 until we're talking about a supercar, maybe a 911, something that's a supercar. Now we're talking 6 figures. At least just in my mind, I would feel more comfortable driving a 6-figure supercar. I know it's 6 figures. You know it's 6 figures. Everybody at the bank knows it's 6 figures. Everybody at McDonald's, when I go through the drive,
and I knew exactly what it was, and I was flipping out. And he's like, "Was that a 4-cylinder Charger or Challenger?" I'm like,
"No."
He's got a point. It wasn't, but I mean, it's the same thing. Yeah, and then you have these people who buy like a V6 Mustang, or there was a guy in a V6 Camaro in front of me, and he was trying to hang with this Z06, and then my car.
And as a former Camaro guy, I hate V6 Camaro.
Same. And I'm not even a former one.
It's like an imposter. It's like somebody that comes to a military retirement ceremony. Sir, it's an imposter. What is he doing here with the uniform on? When I see that V6 Camaro, and I'm just like, it's not the same. Because my mom was quick to say, "Oh, he has the same car as you." Mom, no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He does not have this V8. No, and she don't understand it. And that's kind of maybe I am worried about what other people think. I don't know.
Well,
I just don't want to spend $100,000 on a standard car.
That's a valid concern. Years ago, in 2000, no, in '99, my uncle bought a Trans Am WS6, and that was soup to nuts, big hood scoop, big wing, blah 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 blah. But like you're saying, unless you knew, okay, that looks like the Camaro down the block, the Firebird down the block, nobody cared. And yet it was in '99, it was another 15 grand for that package. It wasn't just like a quick, easy spend. So that's part of the issue too. You look at Dan's
Sometimes
car.
a picture is worth 1,000 words.
You look
a little 4-cylinder detuned. I think it has a turbo. I don't know. And then I have my 335, 0 to 60, 3.86 seconds. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, looking.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Two
Pin
things.
Tony up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes a
see
picture is worth 1,000 words. So I get how much the cars cost, but
Yeah.
if you look at how they perform, in Willow Springs, you had to go up to the $1 million Porsche 918 to beat the Z06 auto with the Z07, and then you see where the Huracans and things fall below that. And again, that to me has been the thing that always, attracted me to what Chevy can do there, because you can spend a fraction of the money. But I get you guys' other points. When you're on the road, people still see it just the way Eric does. You're talking 80,000, 90,000, right? Corvette. Fanatics are going to care about that picture I got by.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Thank you for dropping that picture, bro. Like that kind of gave a visualization to some of my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even when I heard the track time of the Huracan versus the Aventador, and it's mainly dealing with, weight and different things like that. I mean, who cares about the milliseconds between the Huracan and the Aventador? But yeah, those are super cars on that screen that you have right there. Those are super cars.
So while we have that screen up, I think we should all go through the round table, looking at those cars. Doesn't matter what it's costing you. If you got to pick one car on that list, what car are you taking home? Eric, go.
Aventador.
Okay.
Does that say 650S?
How you gotta see it?
I made it big. I made it full size.
Is that 650S Spider for the McLaren?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of between. And is that an
Get out of the
AMG
way.
GTR or GTS?
It's a
It's an S.
GTS.
S. Okay, then I would probably go 650 Spider. Although the 918, I mean,
Come on, guys.
What other
Even I would go to
V10
918. I'm not crazy.
yeah. What other? Yeah, I'd probably go 918. I guess.
Pat, what are you picking?
Honestly, I think I picked the 911 Turbo S for two reasons. First, I've only ever heard good things about them, and I want to experience it. But second, the car's a little bit slower, so I know that I don't have to worry about losing control and then losing a lot of money.
Rebecca.
Well, you picked one I was gonna pick.
Really?
Yeah, I was gonna
What's
pick
your reason?
Duramax. I mean,
The car felt like it pushed my organs into my spine from a dig, and I've never felt that in a car before.
it's so fun. I love that car.
Oh. There's a lot of building.
The clutch, it just, you can't get used to it.
No, that's
Never
the
driven one.
Carrera GT.
Oh, yeah, my bad. But, wait, so that one didn't come in a manual?
No, the 918 is a strictly automatic car.
Oh, I got it mixed up. My bad.
I have two comments I want to make. Dan, sorry, I quickly talked over you last time when you were talking about getting a deal on the, saving $2,000 in a run flats. That's smart. If your tires are worn out, you definitely
Yeah, the biggest thing for buying BMW is that's your bargaining chip. If the tires are even show a little wear, everyone knows they're expensive. I didn't put run flats on. I instantly went and got I forget what I got, Michelin's, non-run flats for, $200 a tire. But, you can chip that price down. I mean, same thing. I had an oil leak, and I told them, I'm like, this is going to cost $1,000 at the dealership to fix. I fixed it for $50.
Right, exactly.
But,
And my second thing was question on my chat was Soto, do you have any mods coming for the Mercedes?
Evan's been talking about doing some things. I mean, it's his car, so he's got to take a Sawzall to his mufflers. His first.
It's going to sound nice.
And
6 cylinders.
yeah, he's looking at a ECU, a modded ECU, since you can't do not like the BMWs. We have Beamer code or boot mod. You need to buy a whole new ECU. So he's looking at one of those. But he did have an intake. He took it out and went back to factory.
What? Didn't throw a code?
No. He said it performed better.
So that's the thing. That's the thing with my car. With the stock intake, it actually performs better because it gets colder air. But you can't beat the sound of your turbo, and then your blow off and all that, through the intake. Can't beat it.
Yeah. He's more concerned about cosmetics right now. He wants to get a new front bumper and cosmetic stuff he's looking at right now.
That's next for me.
Is he fun?
He pays for it.
Nice.
I want to say a big thank you. Got the Stick I8 plate. I know that Soto's got. He's got his website there.
Yeah, the Stick store.
Yeah, he's got the Stick store. I know other people have merch and stuff like that too, but yeah, I got the thick plate now. So I accidentally had this on the car too long and almost drove off with it.
Are you, speaking of which, Soto, are you going through like a third party who's making them and shipping them, or do you have this physical stock that you're shipping out to people?
No, I have a buddy of mine who makes them that I buy.
But you're still dealing with like the shipping and all that?
Yeah, he'll
under the fence, and they slip them under the prison fence.
Yeah, anybody lived it?
They're nice quality, aren't they?
And the nice thing about it, I mean, it's not like the normal plate where you have like the ridge or anything like that. It's perfectly flat. So this is terrific. You can't mistake it from a regular plate. But at the same time, if you look at it straight on, it even looks like it has the ridge around the outside, where the Maryland plate would be. It looks like it has it, even though it's perfectly flat. So this is display plate, and you don't accidentally throw this on your car.
But I'm sure if you're going down the road, nobody would probably notice. So
yeah.
So if you're ever trying to evade the Mexican police, quick pull over, throw on your thick plates, and then there you go.
Yeah, it's not me. It's Soto.
Yeah, it's Soto. He has a problem. He just can't stop racing.
Someone needs to mass produce like those old Knight Rider things where it like will flip.
Yep.
Amazon has them. I mean,
Mythbusters
not that I've been looking for them. Can he do PA plates, Soto?
What's that?
Can he do Pennsylvania plates?
Yeah, we do any state.
Might have a couple of thick boys in Pennsylvania.
Some Nevada ones.
I've seen them. You know they sell those, right? Where you can hide your plate, it'll come down and go. Yeah, it's for a car show clean look.
Has anybody ever seen? All I'm gonna do is talk about Life Apollos in my new channel called Life Apollos.
What are you gonna
Still
talk
amazes
about?
me that model works. I mean,
It
but
works.
It appears to be working.
It works. It works because nobody wants to watch the full video.
It worked because I don't have the time to watch through everyone, but you can kind of tell whose payroll he's on, quote unquote.
He's the Cliff Notes.
That's all the stuff you see,
unquote.
and it's yeah.
Duramax Country Boy said Atomic Z06. Love the mural under the hood. I was going to ask you to show it, and that's what he's got up there as his background.
Yep, looks sick.
Is that an air?
Question for everyone here.
Is that
A few of them done by the guy who does them, Airbrush Incorporated. That one was by far the most ambitious project he did for me, and he's really talented though. But that's a lot of airbrush.
Are they out of Howard County too?
How does that work? You send the hood, you send the car.
Sorry, question.
He does so many Corvettes. He actually stocks the underhood liners, and he has custom cases. So you order one from him, he'll send you your hood liner in a case with a FedEx label that you just rip off. Boom, send the case back to him. He's got a whole system.
All right, so I was doing some browsing on Car Gurus the other night, and I came to the realization,
I'm gonna go last because I won.
63, but what?
I'm gonna go last because I win.
Okay.
I think the value of mine actually went up because C8 production stopped.
Yep.
So, hey Tony, that's what I'm on right now because most of us that know I that brand new. This is 150, and 5 years later, they're going around under warranty with 20-some thousand miles, about 75,000. So it's about a 50% hit. But now they stopped making the i8.
So BMWs depreciate. My new was 63K. I bought it for 220. I'm talking when you bought the car versus what it's worth now. So.
Oh, well, I mean, it's still relatively around the same value right now. I look online and I don't see much difference now than when I bought it a year. Keeping it right now, but if it's too much hassle to have the i8 and another car, supercar, then I'll just sell it only for that reason.
I think
another comment from the chat. Dr. M3 says, just hang tight. Lots of great inventory will be coming onto market in the next few months. The car market is extremely soft and will get worse, and this is true. And only the dealers that don't care, and at this point, in my opinion, those that if you walk into the dealership and it looks like a mansion, like a castle, like royalty was there, obviously they got too much money, and they're probably not going to budge on prices. But there are who said that they took their car to.
You talked to somebody.
Took the car to CarMax before coronavirus, and they offered them like 20 grand as if they buy it off them, and then he took it back and said, hey, this was my offer before, and they're like, no, it's like 14. So they've already the wholesale prices have gone down, but we're still waiting on retail. And thanks Dr. M3, really appreciate you coming in here and joining the chat.
When are you gonna get on with us? That is my question.
18.5. And at 230,000 miles and many years of dearly loving service, Kelly Blue Book has me at $1,100.
Oh, wow.
All the cars in the mix right now, and I'm probably still at more mileage than the family. So maybe Pat's truck has me beat.
Yep, Dr. M, so he's just happy to hang out and chill with us. So thanks for joining. And that's true. I mean, the mileage in any car, once you hit a certain mileage, the desire for the car goes way down. So it's like, even if it was a 2-year-old car with 230,000 miles on it, you might.
Yeah, well, that would be a bigger depreciation because of the amount of time versus depreciation. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say, oh, I had the car, I bought it for $10,000, it's worth $1,000, but it was 15 years, because that's not a big depreciation per year.
The best, in my opinion, the best deal, you buy a 15-year-old Corvette, it's going to go up in value. 15 years is like the sweet spot for Corvettes. So if you want to get a car that appreciates, go
2005.
Go out and get yourself a when did they make a ZR1 in 2005? No.
No.
What year?
They skipped the C5 ZR1, so they didn't have one since the. By the way, Dr. M3, I'm glad to see him. I don't know if any of you guys saw. He did a great April Fool's video, which I didn't know was an April Fool's video. He said he was trading his Huracan Performante for a C8 because it was so great. He drove it in the dealership, all this stuff, and I'm like, he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's like, no. I have to admit, he had me.
I was just looking forward to that Performante to be on the market, because that's a sharp spec on that Performante.
Yes.
Very nice.
Did you answer, Thick, for the question? Sorry. Because I know that BMWs depreciate like crazy. About the depreciation.
I think mine's around, 60,000. Mine's an autographed edition. It's got the thick autograph on it.
Okay, so that makes it probably like 120 grand.
Probably.
Yeah.
No,
that's more valuable than Alpina.
Around the same, like 17,000, 18,000, which is.
Here's the thing, guys. I mean, it's all mileage has an impact, sure, but the biggest thing that contributes to cars' depreciation is how many of them were made.
Well,
right? And that's why when you look at things like Ford GTs and other things, they just don't make a lot of them.
Rob Ferretti just did a video talking about like the brake calipers for his SLS McLaren. New, they're like 20 grand, but unless you have an SLS McLaren and you need brake calipers or brake rotors for it, they have no value to them. So you take that flooded market and you take does somebody want what I have? Then what's it worth? So those two factors really, really throw the numbers off.
I've never traded a car in. I've been buying cars since I joined the military in 1992. I will buy a car, pay it off, keep it, give it away. Buy another car, keep it.
I'll take the i8.
No, I'm just saying, like, I just never been into, like, I was always afraid to be upside down and trade cars in. I would buy a car and just keep it. And like my 350Z, I got in a car accident. That's the only reason that I don't have that. And then my Camaro, I kept it while I had my i8. And I told y'all my driveway is too small, so I ended up, selling that for $5,000 to my dad just to move it out the driveway. So when I buy a car, I'm almost really not concerned with depreciation because my life story is buying cars and keeping them. So I don't really, have too much.
Sale by owner, don't ever trade it in.
See,
Sell it straight out.
You,
Craigslist.
Yeah, I agree with you 1,000% because I think I might have told y'all we had bought a 2019 4Runner and paid cash for it. Right? Got a great deal on it. But we got the Lexus 6 months later, and we still took a $5,000 hit on the value of what we bought it for and what the Lexus dealership gave us for. We lost $5,000 in that. In 6 months time frame, it lost $5,000.
My Escalade that we still have it. We're gonna sell it, but I'm just keeping it because it's paid off and we don't need to sell it. And it's good because it's bigger than the Range Rover. It fits us better. But the dealership, I took it to CarMax. They were going to give us $7,000 for it. And I same, on Kelly Blue Book, same mileage, same condition. Dealerships are selling for $16,000, $17,000.
Yeah, they was going to get you.
I mean, if I can sell it straight out for, even $15,000, why should I trade it in?
No.
Yeah. CarMax and CarSense and all of them, they always risk
taxes is the only reason,
yes.
I guess.
And that's actually what my dad did. He had a Toyota Highlander, which was great, but he it wasn't big enough for the big work trips, and it got not good enough mileage. So what he did is he traded that in and then bought a Chevy Suburban and a Lexus, some little car that gets good mileage at the same time. It was actually more efficient to do that. Yes, the car was a couple thousand cheaper, but with the taxes stuff, it
Well,
really
and the other way around that one, Tony, is like if you know that you want a fully legal way, you get the benefit of a wholesale value customer to customer for the car, and you get the tax, and I get the great price on my buy, and you get a good price on your buy. And it's an underappreciated.
You just have to have a cool dealer.
Yeah. Well, and a
or
lot
a
of
Maryland or a Montana plate.
But even
what would you say, Pat?
Or a Montana plate.
even the Montana plates are getting dicey though. They're starting to crack down on that too.
I need a thick i8 in a Montana plate.
That can happen.
Pat, you have me thinking. How much shorter is Randy's car than yours?
So a lot. So I did have a picture. I did want to share it because I took it straight on. Let me just pull it up real quick. It's easier if I step out of the photo. Yeah, it is a lot shorter because it's only 41 inches tall. I think. Yeah, here it is. It was a close-up.
Cars, the only world where it's better to be shorter.
That's ridiculous.
and flying internationally
But
or whatever.
let's now put this into perspective. Randy is not a small person.
No.
But the car itself does. Here we go. Let's sit there in the middle.
Look at that. That's very
The
short.
car itself, of course, it sits really low as it is. So when you sit in it, you're pretty much sitting on the floor with your legs straight out. Now, Rebecca can tell you more about it. She just stepped away. She actually got in it today. So we were at this event, and of course Randy shows up in that, and he's like, "Okay, we're all going to go to a restaurant where they have an outdoor window where we could buy food." And Rebecca said, "Can I ride with you?" And he's like, "Yeah, hop in." And it was like, this is crazy. She's hopping in the GT and get her first ride.
So
she
how
pulled
does
You pulled a Jeff Rosenberg.
Dude, you have
That video
to.
you sent us, she looked like a giant when she came out of the car.
You have to just ask. If you ask Randy for a ride and the timing is right, he'll put you in the passenger seat. My question is, how does drive-through work in a Ford GT? Do you have to have like grabbers to get the food from the window?
Don't try it.
What?
If you're going through a drive-through, do you need like grabbers to like reach up?
Oh, yeah, I already have a problem in the i8. Even if I decide to go to like an ATM, forget it. It's like, and you can't just pull up to the ATM and open the door a little bit because your door is going like this. You open it into the ATM. So, yeah, it's impossible. It really is.
Pat, I have a quick question on the GT.
Yes.
Does anyone know, do you know, like, legitimately, did he think he had street speed 717 in that or not? I kind of thought he did.
He does not like, Randy doesn't like Corvettes. So,
I know that.
So it's like, he's just throwing everything he can. I mean, the next thing's going to be the Koenigsegg. And the ZR1's going to walk all over that too. So it's like, you have a 15-year-old Koenigsegg and it's going to get beat by a ZR1.
He's going to buy a drag car.
He thought he had it, didn't he? I kind of thought.
I don't know if he thought he did or he didn't. I never asked him the question, but I can always ask next time. But yeah,
I thought he did.
So Jimbo to make it look like it.
Yeah, right.
I posted on Street Speed's Instagram, and I told him, I said, you need to let this man win a race for once. I mean,
he's just going to keep buying and buying until he beats Mike.
Well, Mike's car's now getting more added to it. It's crazy.
Yeah, what's the rumors on that?
I don't
He'll
know.
probably have 1,000 to the wheel.
Probably.
Hey, Pat, what was that car that your friend, it was a question, that your friend took the car Max and they tried to rip him off? What type of car was that?
I'm trying to remember who I talked to today. I can't remember. And it wasn't, it didn't surprise me because I do follow a couple of YouTube channels of like people who used to work in the car industry that will give you an idea of what's going on. And I mean, they have friends and connections, and they're like, do not try to get rid of your car right now because they're going to play this wholesale game. And Kelly Blue Book is owned by Cox Industries, which is the same people who back up a lot of these used car dealers and whatnot. So all the prices are artificially inflated anyway for retail cars, and the prices are artificially deflated in Europe. With the values over here are way more inflated, and it's kind of weird. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the chat too. I haven't been keeping up with it, but I see Dan's been answering some questions over there. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks. No, it's all BMW questions, which is what I know. So.
Okay. Yeah, we're getting close to 11 o'clock. Usually we try to wrap it up by 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
So yeah, if y'all want to go around the horn one more time, and you got anything else you're desperate to bring up before we close this thing out for tonight?
I'm still waiting to hear what happened with the police.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there you go.
So, anybody who's followed my Instagram today would have seen, and it's i8.pat on my Instagram. So if you did follow my Instagram page, I went to a socially distanced Cars and Coffee outside of Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. Chambersburg is one of the towns in Pennsylvania that said, we're going to keep businesses open. So right now, there's a lot of people out and about doing a lot of things. So it's not uncommon to see large crowds of people. So when we did get to the restaurant, there were some folks doing some burnouts and things, and
some specific savages.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just them. It was a bunch of different people who just show up and do a couple smoke shows. So once, of course, somebody in the public made a phone call. The state police showed up and parked a little bit down. Actually came over and they said, we know you guys are having fun. We did get a phone call. We don't want too much going on. You know, be careful. We enjoy yourselves. You know, maintain good distance, and we'll leave you alone. But you know, when they saw, you know, really thick.
Is that a mullet
Oh,
on that guy?
This is the GT.
Some rubber.
Now. So you see, there's like people over here, and there's people there, and there's a lot of people over this way. Like, you know, of course, somebody called and said, you know, this isn't really a safe space for this, which, you know, it's a little road.
It's
but,
amazing.
Yeah, the police did come over.
It's amazing what kind
and
of donuts he can do in such a tight space.
Yeah, that's the Ford GT,
And that he doesn't hit Jimbo.
and they're $1,000 a piece for tires, and he's already gone through 3 sets of rear tires. So it's $6,000 in tires since he's owned the thing. But the police came by. They said, you know, just be careful. And as everybody was leaving, of course, one of the cars, the driver of the car said he got his flip-flop stuck behind the brake while he was trying to pull out, and at the same time, it sounded like an Aventador in launch control. So I don't know what the true story was.
What got behind the brake?
So should we maybe see a video of that in like 3 weeks?
I hope. But yeah, he said, you know, I'm sorry, it was my flip-flop that got stuck under the brake while I was, you know, trying to pull out. And so I had seen him later. Like, they took off, and they stopped for gas. Well, I needed gas, too. So when I stopped for gas, I said, what was the deal? And they said, oh, yeah, cop came over and asked me about, you know, what happened. I explained the flip-flop, and then we got into a discussion about flip-flops for about 5 minutes before they then took off up the road. Well, the police then set up like a mile and another mile away, so that on our way home, they were waiting for him to, you know, speed by. But, you know, nothing came about that. I went the same direction. Yeah. It was a fun day. It was a pretty fun day, and I hope I ate Pat on Instagram. You can follow along, see all the fun things that happen.
And I got to ride in Ford GT.
Yeah, she got to ride in
and Ben had been in this car. I know my shirt's got this. Ben's very, very tall. So, I mean, he's like 6'4" or something. He's a solid foot taller than me. So he had the seat all the way back, so I literally could just see, like, most of my view is dash. You don't realize it's that low until you go to get out, and then you're like, you go to like pick your foot up, and you're like, oh no, like you're literally that close to the ground. So. And
he has it on air ride, so as soon as you turn the car off, it goes down like 2 inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going to screenshot the picture of Rebecca getting out of the car. She looks like she's.
Yeah, you just need to get a little bit lower, and you'll fit in the car. Like, turn and get down a little bit lower. A little bit more. There you go. A little bit lower.
And then I appear again. Yeah, no, it was. I'll have to send you guys videos because I took some videos of it.
Yeah. Or you can put them on your Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, it's everybody look at Rebecca real quick. She's see-through.
I was doing that with mine.
So yeah, sorry about the yeah, there you go. So yeah, that was a police interaction day. Everybody was fine. But you don't want to go around the horn, so I'm all talked out at this point.
All right. I mean, I'm going to sleep because I'm tired.
Same.
I have to go to sleep.
Here you go. Oh, you can't see it. Look how tall she is.
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, and I'm not very tall. Like, that thing, it sits so low. It doesn't feel that bad, but definitely when you go to get out, it's like, holy shit, this thing is like.
All right.
Oh, Pat just got demonetized.
Yeah.
We go around the horn?
Yeah, real quick, man. Hopefully, next week, man, I can make some progress on the wrap and figure out some sort of, I can give y'all a little something. I don't know, I don't want to just keep it a secret the whole time and have one big reveal. So that's all I got, man. Looking forward to the wrap, man.
All I got's foam cannon
I have
time.
a leak. Oh, no, I'll go with that.
I need a new computer so I don't have a
It's
delay. Foam cannon.
I think I heard computer, no lag.
A foam cannon. That's my...
Yeah.
Me, I'm just doing the paint correction this week. We're just talking about this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just the paint correction and get that front bumper looking pretty.
And Tony?
Yeah, I owe part 3 of my C7 versus C6 Z06 comparison series. And because I modified my C6 so much, I had to go to the forums and I got a bunch of inputs. I'm going to be putting that all together and coming up with the verdict on the final comparison.
Very good. Tony, thanks for coming out and being a guest.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
It was
talking Chevy.
Yeah, it was good to talk Chevy, and it was good to just get a chance. I mean, you're normal. You're in here to chat a lot, and I know that you also have a lot to offer. So it's best. And I am going to, for me, I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm tired of working on cars. But I think it's going to be it's been 3 weeks. 3 weeks and nothing but working on cars. But I think I have a new project right now that I'm going to be tearing apart an intake muffler. I have a salvage piece. It's an intake muffler for the i8, and I want to it's like a glass pack. So I want to take the fiberglass out of it and just make it a straight pipe tube and see if I can get any louder turbo noise out of the i8. So we'll see what happens.
You could just pump in a different soundtrack into the speakers.
Yeah, the ice cream truck sound.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you all for joining tonight, and thank you for our audience for keeping tabs on us. We're looking forward to coming back next week, 9 o'clock, Saturday night, and probably we'll go ahead and do this live stream simulcast once again. So thank you all.
Have a good night, everybody.
Yep, see you guys. Thanks for watching.
Stick around, Tony.
Okay.
Okay, I'm done with the live.